Hey, all you beautiful people. Thank you for coming to today's lesson. I am not with the games today. Let's get right into it, man. As you can tell by the thumbnail, and as you can tell what I have, let me get my afro in the fucking way. And as you can tell by what I have up here, man, we're talking about a very serious topic, right? We're talking about the mic'd up YouTube quote. And you might be thinking, quote? It's just a group of YouTubers who like to do nothing more but just poke fun in public. And that's what they want you to think, right? But I'm here to tell you it's nothing but a quote. And just because it's a new quote, don't mean it ain't a dangerous quote, right? Some would probably want to call them terrorists. And if you did want to call them terrorists, I wouldn't blame you. Let me ask you a question, right? Every time you open YouTube or TikTok, how often do you see a face you've never seen before inside a mall, inside a Walmart, inside a Target? They love Target, right? Just doing nothing but acting a fool. Pretty common, right? Pretty fucking common. Let me tell you, these guys are no fucking joke. They have nothing on their mind except for thinking, how can I fuck up the life of a retail worker today and make you guys laugh? But you see, that's what it's disguised as, making us laugh. But here today, I'm going to break them down from the foundation to the top and really show you guys this ain't no fucking game. And this is a serious quote we need to be talking about, right? Because they becoming more and more common than fucking Hispanic girls eating hot Cheetos, man. I'm sorry to go down that lane, but that's the only thing I could think of. Because that's how bad it's getting. That's how common it's getting, right? And you already know who the cult leaders are, right? You got people like Loaf. You got Jadeon. You got Canel. You got Braylon. You got... And there's more I'm not even naming that's not even coming to mind right now, right? And by the way they're rising, by the end of next year, 2023, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a whole new set of prominent leaders, man. But today it's okay. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into why you need to be shivering in your fucking boots if you ever come across anyone who represents somebody in the mic'd up quotes. Look, my afro's just covering it.
Sorry.
So before we can get into the key characteristics of what make up your typical mic'd up quote member, right? We need to first examine the thing that makes them act the way they act. So as you can tell, here we have a brain. And you might be thinking,
Professor, that ain't no fucking brain.
let me tell you something. It is a brain, but it's just not the typical brain, right? This is your average brain of anyone in the mic'd up YouTube quote, right? As you can tell, everything is fine, right? Except for this. You know what we call this? This is the prefrontal cortex, okay? And if you don't know what this does, it determines how you make decisions, right? So as you can see here, it looks like it got fucking stomped on by a size 15 Timberland boot, right? Right here is nothing but mush. And that's exactly why they act the way they act. They aren't able to tell right from wrong, right? They aren't able to look at a situation and think, what's the best way I can go about this? If it's one thing about anyone in that quote, they are unable to make constant, correct decisions, right? Does that make them bad people? No, that doesn't make them bad people. But does that explain why they act the way they act? Precisely. If I only had to give you 5 things you had to look out for, right? Next time you're in your Bass Pro Shop, Walmart, Target, Home Goods, right? Anywhere, Giant, right? It's these 5 right here. The 5 key characteristics, right? That point out anybody in the mic'd up quote. First thing, sporadic actions, right? Don't try and predict these people because you will never be able to predict them. Because remember what we said, no prefrontal cortex. How can you predict someone that can't even predict what the fuck they're going to do? You think you're going to predict him? He doesn't even know what trick he's about to pull out next, right? One thing you know, They're running all around the store. Next thing you know, they're getting in a fight with the white guy over in the meat section, man. Just observe. That's all I can tell you. Just observe, right? Move in pairs. At least pairs, sometimes group, but you will never catch them alone. It's always two of them, right? There's the main kamikaze, then there's the camera guy, right? The camera guy, he's his own person in himself, right? Sometimes I wouldn't even say he's in the cult. Sometimes I think the camera guy is doing it without his own will, right? Because the camera guy, sometimes they don't ever talk. They don't ever talk, right? But the kamikaze, the guy in front of the camera, that's the one you need to worry about. But one thing, don't touch that cameraman under any means. You might see that camera and think, hey, get that shit on my face. No, that's the worst thing you can do. But we're going to get into that later, right? Next, no filter. This one kind of goes with sporadic actions. The same way you won't ever be able to predict what the fuck they're gonna do is the same way you will never be able to predict what the fuck they're gonna say to you, right? Because some of the things I've heard these guys say while doing my research for this topic is fucking absurd. Shit I couldn't even think to say. Shit I wouldn't even have the balls to say if I let alone thought it, right? Next, they lives in the store. Right? They don't go home. When they leave the store, they just go to another store, right? When they leave the mall, they just go to another mall. They do not go home. I think they all have one main base they operate at, and sometimes they might dibble and dabble in other ones, right? Some prefer the Target, some prefer the Walmart. Walmart always, no matter what, you're always going to see them in a Walmart. I saw one with a sleeping bag right next to the Walmart. Next one, no social cues. If you told them, here's $1,000, all you have to do is be able to successfully read this person's social and non-verbal cues, right? They wouldn't be able to do it. But what does that fall into again? It's because of this, man. This is just the detriment of everything. It's been countless times I've seen them in situations you would think, damn, has Buddy not gone too far? Has Buddy already gone over the edge? And it's like, our edge is nothing compared to their edge, right? You could be angry, you could be sad, you could look like you ready to cry and explode. They do not care. As long as that cameraman is there with that camera, the show is rolling, buddy. The show is fucking rolling. So now that I've equipped you or what you need to look out for when you see them in public, now I got here a small little list of do's and don'ts, right? The things you do want to do when you see them and the things you never want to do when you see them, right? Now take this with a grain of salt, right? This is only what I've seen has worked within the videos I've done my research on, but they're all different. Some might affect others more than others, and others might not give a fuck, right? But let's go. So for the first do, laugh, right? If you catch yourself in the predicament with one of them, no matter how scared, right? No matter how scared, I need to emphasize this. Don't get angry, because if you get angry, that's the reaction they need. The cameraman's only going to focus in more on you if you're getting angry. But if you just laugh, man, they might just be like, okay, he's a cool guy, let's leave him alone. Because they only look for the people who are going to react. If you don't do nothing else but laugh, you're going to blend in. You're going to blend in, right? Don't touch cam or touch camera. Ran out of space. Never. If it was one thing I had to tell you, never, ever touch that cameraman, all right? Just know the kamikaze actor, yeah, he values his cameraman's life 10 times more than he values his own life. He values his cameraman's life more than he values his own mother's life, right? Don't ever touch that cameraman, because I can't even tell you what's gonna happen to you. I've seen a lot of bad things happen, right? And how did it all start? They went for the cameraman. Don't even worry about the cameraman, right? Because if you don't give them a reaction they want, the cameraman isn't even gonna notice you. It's like a dog smelling fear, right? They smell laughter, they smell good vibes, you're gonna pass. They smell angry, boy, they don't got bloodlust. It's like anger lust, right? Karen lust. Troll. Trolling goes in hand with laughing, right? Troll them back. One way you can survive an encounter with a mic'd up cult member, troll them back. You have to beat them at their own game. But this one, results may vary, because if you cannot troll him better than he trolls you, you're just gonna get him caught in like a trolling paradox. Now it's just gonna be a loop, right, of you guys just trying to troll each other. You guys just trying to see who's gonna one up, right? So only troll back if you're confident in your ability. If you even have to second guess it, it's not worth it, right? But if you know you can do it, fucking do it. Next, we got harassment. You don't ever want to say, you're harassing me, because to them, that's like go. Harassment is like a green light for them, right? Once they hear that, it's, oh yeah, now I'm really about to harass you. Because one thing about it, 9 times out of 10, they might be annoying as fuck, right? But majority, not all of the time. Even if they are, I still wouldn't. But majority of the time, if they're on your ass, don't say nothing about harassment, because that's like putting a supercharger in for them. That's just gonna make them go, because now they really gonna get on your ass. Because what? Harassment? You want to see harassment? Oh yeah. Next, right? So these last two, they're interesting, right? So as you can see on the do side, we have the call the police, right? But don't call security. But these can be interchanged, because it really depends on who you're going against, right? Let's say you ever come across a big boss, right? A mic'd up cult leader, and you threaten with them with calling the police. They might not give a fuck, right? Because the thing is, they kind of build an immunity to the police the more they've encountered them, right? If you find one and you can tell he's a low level grunt, he's new to this shit, man, he's nothing, threaten him with the police. That's gonna get his ass gone. That's gonna get him gone, right? But if he's a real stepper, if he's a real cult member, don't call the fucking police, because if anything, he ain't gonna give a fuck. And if they're smart and they know the law, it's done for you, buddy. I wouldn't even think about calling the police, right? But then security, and like I said, these are interchangeable, right? I would say don't call security, because honestly, bro, who the fuck respects security? Nobody respects security. And you think they respect security? Those are the last people, actually, I think would give a fuck about security. I just had a hairball. Those are the last people I think would give a fuck about security, right? Imagine a mic'd up YouTuber is in your ass, following you, just in your ear. They not leaving you the fuck alone for nothing. And you say you gonna call security. What the fuck is Paul Blart gonna do? Nothing, right? That's why I say, if you are gonna do either of these, just go big, right? Just go big. Now, security at the same time can be a do, because like I said, if they're low level enough, security might deter them, right? It might deter them, but the chances of it happening are a lot less likely. But let's say you're in a mall. If you're in a mall, I would move security to the do, right? Because the mall security got a little bit more, you feel me? Not Paul Blart. So with all that being said and done, I really hope I equipped you guys with the knowledge, right, to be able to see one of these sick freaks and know exactly who they are right upon looking at them, right? And I hope I equipped you with also the things you need to do and not do, just in case you ever catch yourself within the same, I want to say at least the 50 feet radius of one of these sick fucks, right? Because let me tell you something, shit is getting dangerous and shit is getting serious. And I wouldn't have made this lesson if I didn't care about y'all. Because like we said earlier, I call them a cult, right? If you want to call them a terrorist group, I won't blame you. You feel me? Call a spade a spade. It is what it is. But who would I be to not help you, right? So like I said, just make sure you took your notes. Make sure you view your notes, right? Because shit is about to start looking like I Am Legend when more of these niggas start popping out from nowhere, man. So hope you guys have a good one. Bye.